The ironic thing is, I think there are more people in the House of Lords itself that want to see abolished reforms than in the Commons, because so many members of the Commons, particularly on the government and official opposition benches, want to be appointed to the Lords at some point. And that's why, as I concluded in my debate back in January, as the Lord Speaker concluded in his thoughtful intervention for the Hand Society, and even as Gordon Brown himself concluded in his latest weighty tome, which I think is already gathering dust on the Leader of the Opposition's shelves, the biggest barrier to reform of the Lords is that no meaningful reform of the Lords can be carried out without also reforming the Commons. And any meaningful reform of the Commons would mean taking power away from the government, and no UK government of whatever colour is going to readily give up that power. Despite all the grand talk of parliamentary sovereignty, the House of Commons is essentially a plaything for the government of the day. It sets the agenda, it controls the time, it controls the standing orders and rule book, no matter what myths and conventions say otherwise. So an elected House of Lords would challenge the primacy of the Commons, a cap on the size of the House of Lords would limit the powers of patronage held by the Prime Minister, and the removal of bishops would call into question the relationship between Church and State, which means the relationship between the Church and the Crown and Parliament and royal prerogative are the government's free hand to wield executive authority. So no matter what nice words the government uses to dress up how much it values the House of Lords and how it appreciates the works of bishops, the reality is that any tinkering at the edges, pulling of a thread in the UK's constitutional tapestry, risks unravelling the whole thing, and no UK government wants to do that. I don't think we have time, I'm afraid. So I congratulate my honourable friend on bringing forward the debate. Musing about reform of the House of Lords has been an entertaining parlour game in UK politics and has been for over 100 years since the Labour Party first promised and failed to deliver meaningful reform. But I fear the forces of anti-disestablishmentarianism will continue to prevail. He and I both know that meaningful reform is not going to happen. The meaningful reform that will truly let democracy flourish in Scotland will come when the people of Scotland choose to leave the broken Westminster system and become an independent country.